Ouais, maman, oh, comment les je les babo, oh, comment les je les babo, comment les je les babo, ouais, maman,
So it's good morning everybody from me. It's a Sunday morning in Bloemfontein. Very peaceful. Today I take my last drive in South Africa. It should be an easy one. It's right up at the freeway. The freeway's good all the way. Bloemfontein, we go up there through Winburg, Kroonstad, until we go past Soweto and across to Boksburg. Hopefully Jackie's there, and I get to see my Brakpan High friends again. So it's been a fantastic tour in the car. I'll have to return it tomorrow, make sure it's nice and clean and beautiful. Enjoyed myself immensely. Yeah, hi everybody, good morning. Here I am in the luxury of Jackie's house. Got into Johannesburg about 12:30 yesterday. Tinge of sadness leaving Bloemfontein and leaving that Baselwater Lodge. It's a very nice place, very clean, and I was in quite a nice room. She upgraded me to a self-catering room. Not that she told me she was charging me more. It was only 50 Rand more a night. I did get to use the swimming pool. I looked at a couple of things in Bloemfontein before I left, on the Saturday that is, and we'd had a big Indian meal. Tony and I shouted my tour guide an Indian meal in Kimberley, and they brought out too much food. I ordered too much, so finished that off last night in the Bloemfontein room, sorry. Load shedding, so when it was time for dinner I had to wait for the power to come back on. But so yesterday morning I left Bloemfontein about 7:30, as I said, a tinge of sadness. Been a couple of places I've been a bit sad to leave. Battlefields Lodge is one in Dundee, Buller's Rest in Ladysmith was another. It was mainly Frank, the chocolate brown poodle I felt a bit sad saying goodbye to. Get attached to pets fairly quickly. The drive was pretty good. Not much traffic for it to start with. As you'll see, I did stop off at the Sand River convention site, just caught my eye, and I did a bit of a U-turn on the freeway, which you can kind of do here. There are turn-offs. And then I stopped and just pulled off the freeway there, sort of about 180 kilometres from Bloemfontein. Saw this turn off. It's a place vaguely on my list. What that's saying is the Sant River Conventie Monument. Sant River. So in one of my episodes, we talked about the history of the Afrikaner, the history of the republics of the Boers, how they came to be, etc. And we talked about the Sand River Convention. So at the end of the First Boer War, or BW1, the British got a bit of a hiding after Majuba. Remember Majuba? And they were ready to recognise the Boer Republic's independence. And it was at a farmhouse or something here on the Sand River that they signed that treaty recognising the Boer Republic's independence, which of course was easy to do when they didn't think there was anything of any worth in these republics. They were always going to be broken, living a hand-to-mouth existence, they thought. Of course, once they found gold and diamonds, the whole situation changed. A bit of a monument here, but I don't know why the fencing looks relatively new. I was going to say I don't know why they have it fenced off, but now I should know by now, because it would probably be vandalised. So I can't get in there. I don't know if this is the spot. It looks like those rocks there. There may have been perhaps a house here at one stage. See that? Maybe where the monument is on, maybe that flat bit stone there is where a room was, where they had a little house on top of the hill here. If so, this is where they sat down. I want to say Lord Shepstone from England. Don't know why I want to say that name. Maybe Kroonstad was here. So if you're interested in the Sand River Convention, you can look it up, but it seems to be barbed wired up to prevent. Hang on, what am I talking about? I have to edit that out. Of course we can get in. Fantastic. Alright, forget everything I said about the barbed wire. Just didn't look well enough. Alright, it's probably going to be in Afrikaans. Horrid thorn trees. It says, on this site, Commandant General R.V. Pretorius and other delegates of the Boer emigrants north of the Vaal and the British Assistant Commissioner W.S. Hodge, C.M. Owen, met and signed the Sand River Convention on the 16th of January 1852. By this convention, Great Britain formally recognised the independence of the South African Republic north of the Vaal River. There you go. Okay, well that's good. No mention of the Free State. Okay, well there's a little bonus for us. Gives us a chance to stretch our legs a bit. I think we'll stop in Kroonstad, have a cup of tea at Wimpy, maybe a chit chat. Maybe I'll put out there if you've got any questions, any of you. Might do a Q&A at some stage. Yeah, just as I've been driving, been thinking, it's under 2 weeks. It's about 12 days, I think, I should be back in Australia. And I was just weighing up the numbers, you know, and the figures. Could I get to Zimbabwe to go up and see Dad's grave, fix it up? I don't know. I could. I want to. Kinda. Should I? I don't think so. Yeah, anyway. Right, we'll stop at Kroonstad and get a cuppa. Kroonstad. Same old problem with my... Not problem, but the same old challenge with my modem for my laptop. It keeps running out of data. They only sell you a certain amount of data unless you go around the other way. I've never figured out how to do it. Some of them will take the SIM card out of my modem, put it in a phone, and then order airtime, and then convert that to data. I don't know how they do that. And then other times they say they can't do that, and they just sell you, the most they want to sell you is 15 gig at Vodafone. I don't know how that all works. But yeah, I run out of data, so I got to Boksburg and I went to big shopping centres. Interestingly enough, when I was in Kroonstad and looking for Vodafone shops, they're all closed on Sundays in the Orange Free State. When you get to Johannesburg, far more liberal, they're all open till 5 PM on a Sunday. Huge big shopping centre, the East Rand Mall. A bit like Chatston, but I don't think it was as big as Chatston, but same sort of feel, and of course it's all Black Friday sales. So, yeah, touchdown here, got into Jackie's about 1:30 yesterday. She's bought herself a magnificent, very envious, I'll show you. Bought herself a beautiful 65-inch LG. I'll be looking forward to seeing some of my YouTube videos. I tried last night, but the internet must be really slow or something. Just was terrible. We went up just in this gated community. Her sister Carol lives down the end of the down the other end of the block, so we went down there for dinner last night. Jackie's not a cooker by her own admission, she doesn't cook food, so Carol had made some chicken and potatoes and vegetables and gem squash. They know I like that gem squash which they have here. It's like a melon, little green melon they slice in half. I remember from my South African days. And a bit of butter and some black pepper. So we had some of that, and then very hot night last night. With the fan on, a few mosquitoes, so going through a bit of a heat wave. As in, I think all of the southern hemisphere at the moment. So there'll be no swimming pool for a little while. It's brown as a berry. I don't think I've ever been this brown in years and years. So today, I've got to try and do something with this Zulu shield that I bought. It's becoming a bit of a boat anchor. I'm not getting any positive feedback from any of these places that deal with treating hides. Thought it'd be easy. It's not. So I've got one phone number for a place that I'll ring, but I think I already know what they're going to say before they even answer, but we'll try. And hopefully catch up with Brian. I've got the rental car, the Avis is out there. It's got a day or two before it goes back. Tomorrow it's got to go back. And so I've got it all today and I've got it most of tomorrow. It needs to be washed. There's a car wash just not far from here. They know me now. I've been to them a couple of times before. And they'll wash it and vacuum it and do all the carpets for about 150 rand or something, which is going to be less than $10 for half a dozen people to work on it. Had a quick look, just as a fleeting thought, about I think I've got 10 days to go now before I fly home, and what am I going to do with myself for 10 days? I had a fleeting thought maybe I could whip up to where Dad lived in Zimbabwe, maybe hire a a car that's allowed to cross the border and try and do it in 3 days. That's what I was thinking. Just check the distance. I didn't realise it was that far. It's like 14 hours from here to Wangi. It's 14 hours in a car. That's a lot further. I mean, Dad used to drive from Bulawayo down to Brakpan fairly regularly in the early days when he moved up there. Aidan was still living in Brakpan before Aidan came back to Australia, and Dad used to come down and see him. I mean, that must have been a 6-8 hour drive. So yeah, and then I thought, well, even if I go up and see Dad, and one of the objectives was to fix up the headstone, as I've witnessed all through South Africa, the vandalism at graveyards, especially of Europeans, is pretty shocking. How did that headstone of Dad's fall over? Made me think perhaps it's been vandalised, and if I fix it, and how would I fix it? How would I prevent it being vandalised again? I couldn't. So yeah, it's unlikely I'm going to do that and head up there. It's just too much for me. So it's just a matter now of waiting out time. So there's a couple of videos I've got planned for you. I'm going to be doing a video on things that South Africa does right, things that South Africa could improve on, favourite pets I've met, favourite places I've been, favourite moments. We'll be doing a Q&A later on this week. If any of you got questions for me, I'll put up a short telling you how to contact me and get your questions read out. And a few more shopping trips there's a flea market around here, which I get a few last minute prezzies for people back home. We've got to go to Brakpan, Brian and I. We've got to do a bit more filming. We've got to go to Mum's grave. That's for the 5th of December, just before I fly out. I want to do that. And yeah, I'm sure time will tick away. And you know what it's like at the end of a holiday. You start thinking, okay, it's time to go home and get my life back to the normality and the routine that I was so accustomed to for the last 10 years. I just sent Brian a message and said, what's that saying about you only live once, but if you do it right, that's enough. That's the situation for me in South Africa. The holiday's been fantastic, way beyond my expectations, but can't see myself coming back to South Africa again. But you can never tell, can you? But I think I've got it right for this holiday, and I don't really feel a need to come back to repeat myself. But alright, I hope you're all doing well. I'm still catching up on videos on the end of the tour with Tony, and that's good. That'll keep me occupied for the next few days while we catch up with the adventures we had towards the end of our time in Kimberley. And alright, take care, bye.